Brides in Granny Height, Chapter 10, Journey to a Wedding. Granny Height drew the nest builders to her house again. While making a world without end quilt of light and dark blue calicos for the newest member of their band, they gained wisdom from Granny, an expert in the use of cooking herbs. Granny didn't hold with the custom of hanging herbs from the rafters. It's dusty and wastes flavor. Her house filled with relishy odors as she opened her jars of leaves and seeds. Minty sweet balm, good in tea. Feathery coriander leaves for meats and pickles. Nose-teasing nasturtium seeds, pickled for use as capers. Leaves of gray sage, for ducks and geese. Too strong for turkey and chicken. Rosemary leaves and tiny blue flowers, for stuffings, or boil and wash your face in them. Either way, it helps to hold a man. Grandsir Beckett stopped in. You girls get her to tell you how she makes spruce beer. So Granny told how she boiled the spruce's pine gum and tender tips right down to the soul and essence. Likewise, you boil an ounce of hops and a spoonful of ginger in a gallon of water. Then pour in the spruce. Add yeast, put away in a clean cask and let rumble for a day or two. Then jar. Everybody sampled her spruce beer, cooled with a pinch of powdered borage leaves and flowers. Herbs again. At that point, two things happened that were unusual. One was a lull in the prattle. The other was Cynthia broke it. I'd like to tell about me, informed Cynthia. All eyes swung surprised. I want to, said Mouse Quiet Cynthia. She'd got down from the ramshackle bus at Marionborough. Cynthia told the quilters, and she'd stood beside her shiny new paper suitcase in drizzling daybreak, feeling bewildered, helpless. The mountain was somewhere about, but it was invisible, yet she felt its cheerless breath, its looming presence. A man shambled up and she knew panic. He moved on, and she felt sharp relief. If that awkward clumper. Two other women had also got off the bus. One, after taking her bearings, scurried away to a waiting farm wagon. The other set off for some bleary cafe lights. That left only her. The bus made ready to go on. She heard the clatter of its engine. There was still time to climb back aboard. Instinct cried to her to do it. But she had no money. The bus door banged. The bulky thing moved off. She stood in the early gray, its dampness seeping through the scarf over her head and down her neck of her cheap coat. It seemed strange that no one knew her, seized her and said, Are you Cynthia Green? What are you doing here? The man lurched back. Are you the widow? The word struck her like a hard stick, as it always did. She said, I guess so, yes. This can't be the one, she thought. Oh, this can't be, what was his name? The Cole Trevitt I'm here to meet. He glanced about. You're alone? She was quite alone. He reached for the suitcase against her ankle. She knew it was light, knew it contained only a cotton dress or two and a sweater and some underwear, a comb and a brush. But it almost leaped to his fingers when he touched it. So his hand was strong. Without so much as introducing himself, he strode away with his half-loping countryman's gait. But his back, his whole manner, told her that he felt cheated and vexed. No more than she wanted to cry out, Give me my bag and some bus fare, and end this preposterous mistake. He was too far by now to scream to. In the misting rain, the murky mixture of night and dawn, she saw him stop at a wagon. It was lightweight, splattered, homemade-looking vehicle. Its open bed was piled with jumbled shapes. In spite of her uneasiness, her feeling of unreality and nightmare, she followed him. It was, she supposed, the result of her long drilling in obedience. He tossed her flimsy bag in with the rest of his freight, a saddle, a coil of rope, numerous parcels. The hillman must have made most of his trip to town. He moved ahead to untie the horse. He called in afterthought when she reached the vehicle. Have you et? Food would have gagged her. I can't eat anything. She should have asked him then, and there for money, but that would have gagged her too. He signed for her to climb into the seat. It was the last thing she wanted to do. The bus, which had swayed and sickened and suffocated, seemed all at once like a chariot to heaven. Sometime today there would be another, if she could only flee back to little Robert. The hillman, who must be named Cole Trevitt, waited, in sloppy denim and home-built boots. It came over her forcibly that he, this uncouth stranger, had already assumed the power to command her, to order her about, she who had surely had her fill of authorized bullies, she who dared to believe that no man would ever control or manage her again. Never again tell her to fall in line, march to mess hall, leave mess hall, take up mop, make bed, exercise.